Hello and welcome into Off Topic. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Today, to talk about a whole bunch of things, including liking and subscribing, and why I think those things are important. I've been told they're not important, which is kind of the weird thing about it, because I think they're important, but they're important for different reasons of why. So let's get into it. I'm like hesitant to keep going, knowing that who knows if we're actually live and continuing to be live. So we got that going for us. But thanks everyone for coming in. Mike Baston first. It's 5 p.m. It's pineapple cutting time. If you like and subscribe. I mean, more of that can come. We can get more pineapples in if we want to do that. But we need more likes and subscribe. So Mike Baston with the countdown: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think we're still going, right? Are we still going? This is like where I have to check. It's actually very annoying, but I'm still here. Mike says he's still here. So that's good. That's good. Pablo said, I already liked the video, just in case. Thank you very much. Blue Tomatoes, important question. Do you like your own live streams and videos? Yes, I do. On multiple accounts, mind you. I wasn't going to get into this like right away, but I might as well because we're here. But I had a conversation. I've had actually many conversations with people like Nep and Chani and Haber and content guys, Nellis, obviously. And their whole like, yeah, likes and views and subscribers like don't matter. And I have a little bit of a problem with that, not because of like, it's mostly because like of how they look at it, and that they are primarily in a situation where getting as many views on their videos is the most important thing. And that's not to say I don't wish these videos had so many more views and everything, but how they do YouTube and how Sorare content creators have to do YouTube is different. And part of that is because they're just not not enough people. Like there are literally not enough people who play Sorare who would then be interested in watching English language content on Sorare for any of these videos to like blow up. So when you have somebody who's like new doing content and they were like, I really like Sorare and I would like to do content about it, there's inherently a fairly low cap on how many views you can get on things, which is fine. I don't think anybody starts doing Sorare content now with the expectation that they're going to get rich from that content, from views. And kind of the big unspoken secret with Sorare content previously is that it was basically just a driver to get people to sign up for the site, and you use an affiliate link. And everybody knows this, but I don't think that the rules may be the same. I realize they're actually not, but let's say they are. The rules are the same, but the game is different now. And so you're most likely not being able to use affiliate money, meaning money that you that you earned from bringing people to the site, to basically like justify the cost of the content and vice versa. And so Lauren is saying, should we like first and then subscribe, or the other way around? So it actually doesn't matter. You could do, if you're a subscribe and like, that's okay. That is more than okay. Red or Dead, what's up? Good. Thanks for coming in. And so, but back to the likes thing. So I wanted to talk about this today because there was a tweet from Zanoob I think it was this week. It's been like the longest week of my life, but I think it was this week. And so Zanoob is a very popular French content creator. And there were a number of very like important French content creators that have been doing content for a long time, like Sorare content. And some of them recently stopped. And everybody has their reasons for starting Sorare content. And a lot of people who stop have different reasons for stopping. And so but sort of the point that came from that was that it's not a viable exercise to make money. Like talking to people and doing explainer videos and all of this stuff in order to make money from those videos is extremely difficult. And I think there are a lot of people who are like, oh, well, just do what Nellis does. And I think people kind of underestimate how much work and money and time goes into making those videos. I actually haven't watched his recent one. I went to do it today and then I couldn't do it before this. But I assume it's fantastic because all of his videos are great because he's great on camera. Alex is phenomenal off camera. And so it's a great pair that makes great content that generally has nothing to do with Sorare. And so everybody's like, oh no, the future of Sorare content is Nellis. And it's like, that's just not Sorare content. It might be content sponsored by Sorare, but that's not like Sorare content. And so anyway, so we had a few French content creators stop recently. And whether it's time or lack of money coming from it or whatever, people have their reasons for stopping. But there also has been kind of an uptick in English content, which I think is just kind of a natural progression with Sorare, that it's a French company that had a lot of French users, and the percentage of users that are French continues to decrease as they get bigger. And so it was probably on this show, like this specific one, off topic, where I was like, if you're ever interested in doing Sorare content, like go do it. But it's totally an avenue for people to express their creativity, and that's it. The path to making money doing it is so difficult. And realistically, the content that people create for Sorare really can't get big enough to get like real sponsorship. Like you can put like Google ads on, or YouTube ads, and like make 30 cents for every video you make. And so what I think is really important, and I appreciate that coming from me, is a little tough. Not tough, but like I'm going to look like I'm begging for likes, which I am, but I'm going to explain why. And so the people who do content are doing it because they have like a passion for whatever they're doing. They love Sorare, and they kind of got to a point in Sorare where they were comfortable enough talking to other people about it. Hey, this is a scouting technique that I use to find the best players in whatever league, in whatever age. And so here's what I do. And here are the players that come out of that. Or I have a bunch of friends and we have fun, and we think maybe other people will have fun watching this and participating in the fun. And so we're going to just do it on video so like other people can participate. Andy Black, who I don't know who this is, but he said, I think a big part of it for me personally is it's fun to talk about things I like and enjoy. It's fun, engaging, listening to people talk about things I like. Totally. And Andy said, never made a dime or expect to make a dime. It is fun. I appreciate Andy for not ever expecting to make a dime, since I have taken up years of his life at this point doing content together at Sorare Andrews. And so Lauren says, so I think the answer is to throw more money at it. I think we've heard this one before on the channel. So it's not that at all. It's not that. That is a great line though. But the reason why likes and YouTube subscribers matter is because the people who are making the content have to surely know that if they think about this, they're like, if you were like, how much money are you going to make on this video that hopefully a few hundred people watch? And then when they like really look at the numbers and they were like 12 cents, but it's a lot easier to continue to make content that you enjoy making if there are other people who enjoy watching it and they tell you they like it. And you can tell people that you like their content by liking their videos. And it's as simple as that. And so just go like the videos. It's amazing to me how you'll see something. This video has like 2,000 views, and I realize view numbers are a little wonky, but it's like 2,000 views, 12 likes. And I'm not talking about Sorare Data videos, like all over the place. You see this, like meaning all Sorare content, and nobody ever like responds or submits comments and all that stuff. And in those situations, content creators are then, and I hate to like bucket content creators in as like everybody who makes videos or podcasts or whatever. But so this is it. John Andrews is exactly right. It says, I'm sure it's nice to get that validation that the time and effort you're putting in is appreciated. And it's as simple as that, that people are taking their time. Now, granted, that doesn't mean that all the content that's out there is good. And it's okay if you watch some Sorare content and you're like, that was awful. Or you could probably be a lot nicer about it and you just be like, that's just not for me. And you don't have to watch it. I'm not telling you to go out and just watch every Sorare video and listen to every Sorare podcast and like, you have to like it. Like, it's okay to not like it. There are some content creators out there that continue to do content. It's just not what I'm interested in. That doesn't mean it's bad, but I'm also not like going out of my way to like shame it. Burger, which is a fantastic name. 2 a.m. in Korea checking in. Thank you for checking in at 2 a.m. I cannot remember the last time I was awake at 2 a.m. to do anything, particularly not to watch me. Mike Basson says, can Sorare content be marketable, profitable if when Rivals takes off? This has similar vibes to FPL that have numerous monetized content outlets. I mean, maybe. To be honest, I find FPL content really boring. I mean, I obviously don't play FPL, so I appreciate that. But like, yeah, hopefully like Sorare becomes big enough where that sort of stuff, like Quinny's or deadline live stream, like that should be popular amongst Sorare people because they're going through everything. But it's like Sorare is just not there yet. And I think there is a benefit to people making content now. And I think people do this, that they're like, let me do it now so that when Sorare gets big, I'm already established. And I don't even mean established like you have a lot of people watching, but it's like anything else in life, that the more you do something, the better you'll get at it. It's as simple as that. And I don't, not like the 10,000 hours thing, because that is what it is. But the more you do something, the better you're going to get. And ideally, you just continue to get better. Like I was watching a stream that we did, like one of my first Sorare Data streams. And it was like, man, that was not good. And I had done like hundreds of hours of live streams before that. And you just hope that they continue to get better. And so if people are doing content now and you enjoy it and you come back and you watch it, like the easiest thing to do is just to like the video. And it helps people appreciate that they were like, oh, not only do I have whatever these view numbers are, but also people actually enjoy it. And so it's as simple as that. Like if you enjoy this type of stuff, the easiest thing to do is just to like it, because then the creators see that and they're like, okay, this is good. There are enough people who like this. I'll keep going. And then they'll get better because they're just going to keep doing it. And then you get to enjoy better content because those who are on the other side, who are behind the camera or in front of the camera, excuse me, get better. It's as simple as that. GWOM said, if you want card values to go up, then like all content. Every little helps. And even if it gets also to show one new person, it helps. So the reason why NEP, and I talked to him more about it than the others. I don't know why, I happened to. But he was basically saying that likes and subscribers like don't push videos into the YouTube algorithm for YouTube and then like push it out to other people. And realistically, YouTube is not going to take some Sorare video that has, hashtag Sorare in it, hashtag NFTs, and send it out to a bunch of people that are not interested in that stuff. So again, the number of people that your video is going to get pushed to is still very limited. It's not just going to go out to this like generic football audience, but the likes and the subscriptions matter to those who are making the content. because it allows them to be just what was that John before? Like it validates what they're doing. And if you're somebody who's new at doing something, you have no idea if it's good. You just see the video, like it could be, it could have 1,000 views on it, which is nothing. I think people kind of forget that 1,000 views is such an incredibly low number when it comes to like needing enough views to make money or to be pushed out to a lot of other people so they can see it. But if then you have like 3 likes, the thought is nobody liked this video, meaning nobody enjoyed this video. Maybe I just won't do these anymore. When in reality, maybe 800 of them really liked it. And they were just like, oh yeah, I watched it and that was great. But without the like, there's it's the only reasonable form of feedback that people can give without, literally writing feedback in the comments. And so I think it's just really important that when you're watching things, and I don't mean just on this channel, but it does apply. But mostly, if you like something, it's okay to tell people that. It's encouraged. You should tell people because it makes them feel better about it and it makes them want to do better. And if you can enjoy better content, then that's great. Like that's what we want, right? Mike said, you must be doing content people enjoy. I've been watching for 2 years now, as we have plenty of others here. So I have to, I feel bad because I shouldn't, I'm in a different boat. And so I'll get to that in a second. Let me catch up on the chat here. Pablo said, thanks to my mom for making me learn English so I can watch these live videos. Thank you, Pablo's mom. Agreed. Oh, Quinny was here a few minutes ago. Blue Tomato said, you always say it's boring, but people like it. For example, rabbit hunting. Oh, I had a terrible rabbit hunting one recently. Yeah, FPL content is boring. I'm sorry. John Andrews said, my SO5 results don't support your theory of the more you do something, the better you get. John, same boat right here. Yikes. Mike said, I'm sorry, but I have numerous exes who will disagree with that sentiment. Brad said, I used to love FPL content, but that was before I started Sorare. The game is boring as hell to me now. Haven't looked at my team since September. So Brad, like what about FPL content was interesting? That's what I'm curious. The Good Place said, Sorare content would get more interactions if YouTube put in a go fuck button. And Enrico said, Sorare is crashing. Well, get out. Brad said, cool, rares will be cheaper when I can graduate from limiteds. There you go. There you go. Berger said, likes give a simple but powerful metric to creators. Algo doesn't matter. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Daniel Cooper said, I still actively play and watch. So what is the FPL content? Is it just like, here are the top plays for this week? It's been a long time since I played. And so I'm curious kind of like what the content side of it is. Obviously, when you have that many people playing. Anthony says, I keep freezing. Is everybody else having that issue? It's possible. We've had a bunch of issues this week. Sorahan said, I'm addicted to Sora and love to consume as much content as possible, even though my gallery is relatively small. I think what's nice about the content too now is that there's a lot of different content. Like I feel like we have a lot of different content on this channel, but obviously then you have like the Sora Down Under guys who do, their, I was going to call them skits, but they're not. There was some like comedic, Mike Zakarian said it the other day. There's a difference between a skit and a bit. I think that's what it was. Excuse me for the slurp there. I don't know. Brad said FPL content is mostly deep dives into stats to try to predict which players will perform best in the next month or two. Sounds awful to me, but I get it. Daniel said, yeah, Just here are players to look out for fixture runs, injury news. In my opinion, it's not about the actual content; it's the folks. There's lots of people playing, and the community aspect carries it. So yeah, totally, like totally that. Germ said, "So Rare World Cup could be great viewing for neutrals, like a lineup builder showdown, and Rivals has the potential to be massive." Yeah, I'm curious how the Rivals content will look. I feel like there's going to be. Blue Tomato said his stream is lagging as well. Sorry, guys. I assume it's my fault, but although the earlier stuff this week was not my fault, so I'll happily blame Streamlabs here who are doing. Oh yeah, no, my internet's fine, so it's your fault, guys. Gosh, my internet's actually faster than normal. Anyway, yeah, so like his Rivals, like we pick one game of the week and everybody plays, and then there's like a watch along, something like that. I don't know. Thanks. All right. I don't know. I think it's okay. So anyway, so yeah, I think it's as simple as that. Just if you guys like videos, it's really helpful for the content creators to know that people like it. And views don't really do that because, I mean, frankly, I don't even know how YouTube actually counts views, but I was looking at a few, like our our videos are usually about an hour. Like I try to keep most of them to an hour. Part of it is because I don't think people. I mean, some people like longer, but whatever. I like to keep them to about an hour, and we get kind of. Let me see if I can pull this up here. YouTube gives you like the average view duration, like the average of like how long people watch of the videos, and so it usually comes out between like 20 and 30 minutes, which feels so low. Like, why would you watch an hour long video for 20 to 30 minutes? But apparently that's like a decent amount. And it's just that we should, if you like that stuff, just like it. Daniel Cooper said personality is greater than content most of the time. That I totally agree with. But I will also say that sometimes personality struggles to come out early on. So people who haven't done content very long just may not be comfortable talking in front of a camera. And so Brad said, I'm wondering if I'm giving you 2 views. I'm watching on my television while live chatting on my phone. Yeah, I have no idea. But you could also like that video twice. That's okay. Blue Tomatoes, thank you for that. The Good Place said, if they watch you on 2x speed, does that only count as 20 minutes? I don't know. I have no idea. Psychos. Andy said, I usually don't watch the full live video as work stuff comes up. I usually catch up, wonder how analytics reports that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. And again, like, so let me go back actually to what I was saying about how this channel is a little different than every other So Rare content channel out there. And most of it is because this is my job. And like these videos are part of like all of my responsibilities of my job. But this is what everybody sees. So what I do every day here with you guys is not something anyone else can do. And that sounded so awful as soon as I said it. But let me explain. So everything on this channel is free. So there are people who do kind of like, YouTube memberships, and you can pay to have your certain emojis in the chat and all these other things, private videos just for members. Like Quinny has one, I'm a member there. Team Hold has one, I'm a member there. And the reason we don't do it here is because I already get paid. Like I have a salary. Um, and so it's easier for me to not necessarily worry about analytics and how many people are watching and all this stuff because we're not trying to make money from, oh my God, this is just, uh, anyway. So this is my job, and effectively, Sorare Data memberships pay for these videos, and so they're able to be done because of Sorare Data memberships. And so the content that we produce can be a little different because we're not specifically trying to get clickbait thumbnails where I'm standing there like this or with a fish and chips in my hands to get people to get it to Beckham and JVIC. Yes, that's why you don't see ads on this channel because exactly, Rikaman. It's this whole channel, and I'm sorry for giving this away. This whole channel is a Sorare Data advertisement. But that's fundamentally what the point is to show off how great Sorare Data is and how we use tools to make us better Sorare players and how we use the live game to follow games and our lineup builders and all that stuff. It's fundamentally to like let everybody know what Sorare Data is all about. And so adding additional ads on top of that seems unnecessary. And we wouldn't make that much from it anyway. And so we just keep them off for now. I have no idea if we'll keep them off forever, but that's the secret. And so liking the videos at least knows that allows me to know, oh, these people are enjoying the content that we're doing. And I think that's also one of the other kind of tough parts about doing content is if there's no interaction with your audience, whether they like it or not, you just don't know. And so the you could be doing some content that people just don't like and you just keep doing it because you just don't know. And so like providing feedback to people and granted some people are not great at hearing feedback, particularly if they were like, I have this really great idea and they go do it and nobody likes it and nobody tells them. So they keep doing it. And then finally they were like, yeah, somebody mentions it once. And like, yeah, I don't really like that, when you do that, whatever it is. And so then everyone else is like, oh yeah, I don't like that either. And then you realize you spent like hours and hours and hours doing this content that like people don't like. So it's like feedback for people is really important. I I am always like looking for feedback. And so if you guys like have anything that you like, that's why I said like, oh, if there's a topic you guys want us to cover, but also like if there's any feedback, if this show and it sounds weird saying this because there are people here and thank you very much for coming here and listening to me just ramble. But like if this is completely uninteresting, I'll get rid of it. Like I'm fine with that. Or if nobody finds limited time only or the strategy show or the game week previews, like if you are watching those and you're like this just isn't, I don't enjoy this at all, let me know because it's helpful. Like the last thing I want to do is to spend my time making content people don't like. Like there's nobody wins in that situation. And so Daniel Cooper said more kid drawn football badges needed. So I actually have one to go up. My son made an FC Cincinnati one, but like I don't really like Cincinnati. And Andy, you didn't notice that Sorare Andrews was the only show that I did not list in the if you don't like it, we're getting rid of it. That show will never end. So I definitely did not do these. Like I have no artistic ability. But I think my kids kind of found the easiest ones they could do. And so yeah. Quinny said this show is my way of knowing when to go home on Friday. Does that mean you're like before or after? But like Mike, yeah, Mike Basson here out in his garden, although it might be a little cold now. But Daniel Cooper said actual feedback. So bring it. Yeah. LTO needs an occasional guest who actually only has a limited gallery. I think those people have different views than yourself and Keith. Totally agree, Daniel. Totally agree. And so I was going to say the difficulty is that there are a lot of people who play limiteds only and are, well, that's not true actually. You're right. We do. Absolutely. That was like the biggest hesitation we had in doing the show, that I felt like there needed to be more of a focus on limiteds, and it it needed to come from a more it needed to come from the perspective of playing limiteds, and like more people play limiteds than anything else, and it's it's different. Us playing limiteds is different, and so yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. I'll work on that because while I enjoy everything that we do like that, um, the I think we're missing it. We're missing the mark on that show. Like it's enjoyable because I mean I have like a great time hanging out, like chatting with Keith, but I do feel like we kind of lose the plot a little bit. Like that's the show. Yeah. Thank you for the feedback. Um, let's see. Sorry, catching up. Good Place said, just don't talk about NBA and MLB and we're good. I'll talk about MLB as much as Sorare do. So, um, let's see. Berger said, I think currently there's a great variety of shows. Each show is unique with each co-host and theme. I really enjoyed the laid back auction watch streams. Oh, you mean on this channel. Thank you. Yeah, the auction watches are a little tricky. And the reason they're tricky is because not every auction matters. And it, how do I say this nicely? I don't want to participate in an auction watch that makes Sorare look bad, because that just becomes a bummer for me. And I'd rather just not feel that way. And so, like, if we have one coming up that it's like, oh, that's probably not like the only thing that that auction is going to make people think is how, like, the next Haaland auction, all people will talk about is the first one and how it sold for so much money and then it was sold for so much less. And Sorare's dying because look at all these. And like, I don't, now that I say it, I'm sure we'll do one, but I don't know. You have to be, I think they need to be interesting. Like yesterday's Bruno auction. Like Bruno Fernandez, great player, really cool card. Just don't know if there's enough to say about it. The Endrick one I thought was like a fun conversation because that was like really a card that, I mean, first one on the platform and all that stuff. So I agree. I like the auctions. We stopped doing, or the auction watches, excuse me. We did stop doing those, but it does seem like they picked up. And we really just we do them when we think that it's interesting. And if there are some that are just not that interesting, then we just skip them. Ricky says, I don't have any friends who play Sorare, so listening to people just talk about it is enjoyable to me. Ricky, I'm the same way. Like I have like no pre-Sorare friends who play. And so, and they still don't. Like this is my job. That's true. This is my job. And there's just I can't convince any of them. I went up to all of them. They were like, you into crypto, bro? And they were all like, no, I'm not. And so I stopped. Mike said, if Andrews goes, he goes. It's not going anywhere. We can't. John Andrews said, Sorare Andrews is a true OG. John, do you really feel that way, or is true OG, or just because your name is Andrews? Either way, I'm good with it, but I'm just curious. Andy said, remember that show you guys did with Davis Maddock? Would be cool to find someone else completely new for LTO. I wonder if Davis is still playing. He had like the absolute worst luck. Um, oh, he sold the card 4 days ago. Look at you. Did he win that one? He did. He is still playing. Hell yeah, Davis. But yeah, we made him spend so much money, and then you know what the kicker was? Is that he was a huge Gareth Bale fan. And so he bought Gareth Bale, and literally, like, within a month, he retired. That's a tough one. Daniels Cooper said, I get tired sometimes of everyone just saying move to rares. I am currently slowly moving into rares. I can see that. And Andy said, to be fair, it's probably hard to find people that new. So Davis was also a bit of a outlier, because was that before limiteds? Like, could he have bought limiteds? He joined January. Well, no. What was his first buy? 11 months ago. So yeah, he could have bought limiteds. $300 on a Gareth Bale. Damn, that stinks. Anyway, yeah, I think that's a tough one. If there is ever, sorry, I'm dropping my pen that I flick all stream. There we go. It's my my broken Sorare China pen. If there is ever a Fred Emmings unique, we will absolutely do a live watch. And frankly, I think Andy has to win it. And so it'll be hopefully the first one that we have where someone is like actively bidding. Oh, Andy said first card he bought was Bale. It wasn't the first one, but it was there. John Andrews must admit it was an honor to have you name a show after me, but it's OG in my irrespective of the name. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that Bale one was a bummer. I'm trying to look. Oh, and Johnny Russell was another one, because he's a Sporting Kansas City fan. So he's like, I really want Johnny Russell. And we were like, yeah, go nuts. So his first 3 purchases were Andrew Farrell, Johnny Russell, and Gareth Bale. And he bought a Reynoso in the offseason. So this was like his first cards were December 28th. He bought Reynoso, and then Reynoso had the whole legal thing in Argentina. Like, that was the baddest of bad luck. But he's still going. I love it. Like, you love to see that. Literally won a reward. What is that? 11.6? 4 days ago. That's great. He won a Duvin Zapata, sold it for 125 bucks. Oh, it's 2 months ago. Well, that's fine. Whatever. I mean, it's a decent gallery. I don't know why I'm looking at this by myself. Why don't I just show you guys? But I think the important thing that you also have to remember is that not everyone who joins Sorare wants to talk about it. Or if they do, and kind of what somebody was saying before, like, you kind of have to be interesting. And frankly, I don't consider myself all that interesting, but enough people do. Oh, so yeah, Evander. Like, he's got decent cards. But yeah, these were all like in the same day. He like dove right in. And then, yeah, Bernardeschi was supposed to be really good. So yeah, it happens. Berger said it would be cool to see league specific, club specific content, K League with Hoodwink, Denmark. Yeah. So like, that's one of those things that I think would be really good, but the audience is fairly limited with it. And so that's the tough one about it, because Sorare's so big. It's almost like if you spend an hour like watching something about just the K League, you just have so much more to do, unless that's all you play. And if that's all you play, then great. John said it's like an A meeting where we come in and talk to others with this shared addiction that no one outside would understand. Isco already does Liga Argentina content. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's plenty of avenues that you can make content that help people. One of the things that Nellis always said, and he very much convinced me of this, and it's still a work in progress for me, but he was like, there's so much that goes into just having a camera and a microphone, meaning like a real camera and a real microphone. And it just makes it look better, and so people want to enjoy that more. And I will say that the the like John has helped me tremendously. He doesn't know it that much because I probably am doing exactly what I told everyone else the opposite, or I'm doing the opposite, but I haven't really told him. But John has been like tremendously helpful in just so many things of just the way that I look at content and whatnot. And I'll say the same about Nep and Chani and uh, Haber, like understanding YouTube. And again, like I think the point of this channel is different than what they're trying to do, and so but it's still extremely helpful. Mike Zakarian over at Team Hold is another one that I basically steal things from him now, just simple things that because he's kind of the biggest reason. It's a little bit of Mike. It actually really the one is Quinny, and Quinny Quinny's ability to talk to a camera for extended periods of time is just wild to me. And so he was like the first one that I watched of like of live streaming so rare thoughts. And the this show only came about because I looked at guys like Mike and Quinny and Nep and John who would live stream things talking about so rare. And it was like they seemed like they really enjoy that. And I had done one show previously. I think I mentioned this before, but I had done a show early on for Sorare Data, going through like my favorite tools. And it was just me going through Sorare Data, me live in the live chat. And it was awful. It was a really bad video. I think I never went back and watched it. I probably should, but I was so uncomfortable sitting there talking to myself in a room. And but those guys do it with such ease that and they seem to enjoy it. And I was like, that looks fun. I want to try this. And so that was the point of rabbit hunting, where I was like, I need to have something specific to talk about. And then I realized that me realizing I could win All-Star Rare Pro and All-Star Rare every week if I had just made weird decisions in my gallery only went so far. And so Daniel said I talked to myself in a room without a camera. So I think so the other part, excuse me, is that this live chat, like no way this show happens without the live chat. And so that's why I'm always like really thankful for everybody who comes live. And I don't worry, I know that not everybody can do that. But I will say the people who come to the live chat for this show or any of our others, it's just really helpful because it allows us to get sometimes that immediate feedback of, and it's more, helping us get through things, how to pronounce things. But I don't think anybody is giving us the direct feedback of, oh, this show sucks or this segment sucks or whatever. But I think that, but it's really helpful. And so it allows this show to happen. And I like doing it now. And so thank you for that, because the more I do this show, the more I feel like I can ramble, and sometimes that's fun. And it's different than the content that we try to do on this channel regularly. To be honest, I really thought about not doing this show on this channel, because this channel really is not about, like, it's not my channel. This is Sorare Data. And so that's why I don't really love talking about my own lineups or my own gallery or my collection specifically, because this is not the Lairdinho channel. But selfishly, this is where I wanted to do this show. And so Germ said, how much influence did HG have on the nonce badge getting a spot on the Wall of Fame? I mean, there's no way that badge is even known in my household without Maxine. So Isco says, is the River Plate badge back there new? Just noticed. I don't think do I have a, oh, you know what's funny? It's not new at all. It's been there the entire time. And I think just the way that I sit, I should move it. I don't remember even having the Midtjylland one up there. Weird. But yeah, I'll get some more. My wife actually doesn't like them because they're starting to like curl and everything, which I agree with. It looks a little unprofessional. But Daniel said, seeing you use Sorare Data always makes me randomly realize there's a feature that exists that I didn't know about. That's the point. Thank you for watching our ad and for subscribing. Mike said they need to do an SD one for you. Well, I have the mug. I used to, when I was at RotoWire, I used to have like a backdrop, kind of like the one that Quinny uses for his press conferences, but it just had RotoWire. I don't know. I kind of like the real background. I think people got used to that. But I also feel like I'm not a true YouTuber without like some really bright like lights that can change colors. I thought about doing it. Trust me. This room is weird though. Maybe I'll give a behind the scenes one day. But anyway, so it's been 46 minutes. We haven't really talked about Sorare that much, which I'm cool with. I'm cool. But I will say that the Sorare Data content schedule is getting very busy these days. I did 2 shows did I do 2 every day this week except Friday? Like Monday and Wednesday with the game week preview, which Quinny is listening here. Quinny and I do. That one obviously is going to add. I didn't really want to replace anything with that, but not to say I'm looking to add shows, but if there is like content out there that you guys think like should come from Sorare Data, I would love to consider it. It gets a little exhausting, but it's literally my job. Germ says the favorite book on the shelf. Admittedly, I have not read all of these. So like there's some of these are still in the queue. This book is absurd, by the way. I think this is next on my list. This is one of those books that I forget who gave me this book, but it was probably a Christmas present. And they probably like went to a bookstore and they were like, oh, that has soccer on it. Let me buy it for Andrew. And then I have this book of basketball. Is this my signed one? Yeah. Little Bill Simmons signed book of basketball. The irony is I don't even really listen to Bill anymore. There's some others there. Anyway. Mike Baston, do the V's. Oh, are they balloons? Is that what comes up? Didn't work this time. Although Villanova plays tonight, so I'll be doing that in my house later. So yeah, just to go back, just like videos, please. If you really like them, like drop comments to people. It really allows those people who are making the videos understand that that what they're doing is working. And if that then allows them to get more creative with what they're doing, then we all win. Daniel Cooper said, what's your favorite lineup for this week? So just as I was like, I don't really like talking about my own lineups. So I was talking to a few people about this. I actually talked to Keith, Gator Guy, about this the most, that the worst part of Sorare is lineup making. I really hate it, the whole process. The only thing I like is when they're all done and I can like look at them all on the My Saved lineups page, but like the actual lineup making I hate it. Mike Basson said, etiquette question, should we ever dislike? I think it's fine if you actually dislike. I think it's a little weird if you do it without a comment explaining why. John, dislike, unsubscribe, and all that bad stuff. Exactly. Yeah, no, it's okay to not like things, but it's really difficult for things that you don't like to become things you like if people don't know. Like, that's the problem, is if like, I've gotten feedback on a number of our shows, and like that really helpful feedback earlier about getting somebody who only plays limiteds on limited time only. Like, I totally agree. And I've really tried to I've really tried to implement some of the feedback and suggestions that people have in some of our other shows, whether it's the strategy show or the game week previews, stuff like that. And so it's because I'm the one who is on camera, and I do listen back or watch back these videos a lot, because I think that's one thing that I think a lot of people don't do who make content is they don't watch back or listen back. So they keep making like the same weird ticks or mistakes or what. And I think it's important to review. It's kind of like match film, game tape, whatever people call it there on the internet. Like, teams will watch themselves play and they can see kind of what mistakes they made or what they did well. And I feel like a lot of content people don't do that. And it's like, if you just watched yourself and realized that you did this weird thing every time something, like, you would change that and it would make it better. So there's had been like some things on a few of our shows where I was just like, I don't really like that we ended up there or whatever we were doing. And so I stopped it. But again, the lack of feedback that most people get because they have a few hundred or a few thousand views and 18 likes and no comments, that there's no way for them to improve. And I mean, it kind of goes like, we all like to use reviews to when we want to buy something or we're going out, we want to get a bite to eat. Oh, well, how many, like, this one's 4.5, this one's 2.6, so I'm not going to go there. But then we also don't rate them either. Like, we want the ratings, but we don't want to rate them. But like, fundamentally, if there's something that you enjoy watching and there's something about it that you don't like, just say something. It's okay. And you even get to learn about people and how they take the feedback. But if you can be like, respectful and critical in a helpful way, it goes a long way. And again, it all ends up just making better content. And the better content that's out there, and then all of a sudden someone else who's not that interested in Sorare is like, wow, what are you watching? Because that looks kind of fun. You're like, oh, they're talking about this football game I play. You into crypto? Oh, never say that. Seriously. Oh, Mike was saying video analysis. Yeah, sure. But do it. Like, people need to do that. And it just makes everything more helpful. Daniel Cooper said lineup making sucks. I agree. Brad says lineup building is stressful. I've had to learn not to care quite so much while I'm doing it because the random DNPs will nullify so much of my strategizing anyway. I think one of the big things that helps me is knowing that this doesn't really matter. Like, it's okay. And so if it's like totally stressing you out, don't do that. Like, you don't play this game to get totally stressed out. And it's okay to like sweat things or get really disappointed if it like looks like you're going to win something and then you don't. You're like, oh man. But once it becomes like stress and anxiety, it's worth taking a step back, because there's enough stress and anxiety anyway with everybody seeing that the $80 card that they bought is now worth 12 bucks, and that doesn't help anyone. So just remember it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Good Place said your wall needs the Ted Lasso believe sign. I can do that. Daniel Cooper said, I just won Bizuma and Pedro Porro on auction. I'm winning all of that 500K. You are not, but good luck. Good luck. Because you can't win all of it. That's all. But I believe in you. Pedro Porro, wasn't he looking up with Laird hit the other day? Huh. John Andrew said, I'm trying to get it into my head that one game week is a drop in the ocean in the grand scheme of things. I love that. Good Sorare words to live by. Yeah, totally agree with that. I love that. I hope you do. I haven't bought any cards for it, and I'm not sure I'm going to, but I hope you do. I hope you win it all 500,000. So you bought uniques too, I assume, Daniel? Boy, that tea is lukewarm by now. So I said I'd like to keep shows all to like around an hour. We're at 56 minutes now. I feel like I've rambled quite a bit, but I've been thinking about this a lot. And so I'm glad that I was finally able to get it out. And it has nothing to do with Sorare. And I don't know. I hope you guys like it. I was thinking of doing more, not like truly random guest, but some sort of more guest show. I do feel like I step on Nellis's toes a little bit doing that. And I've said before that like I actually don't care that much about doing that. But I do think like just talking to more people is always fun. I think Midtjylland plays Sunday. Is it Sunday? Sunday. Can you tell I have a few Midtjylland players now? It is absurd. But yeah, there's just any feedback you guys have on any show, feel free to leave it in the comments below after you've liked the video. But seriously, just go. No, I'm not just telling you to like go and like every video that you watch. But if there are videos that you watch regularly, like from content creators that you regularly watch, or one randomly comes up to you, not the content creator, but a video is just like pushed and you like it, like the video. It's very simple. It's unbelievably simple. And it's from the creator standpoint, it does get a bit frustrating when people don't do that because like I said, you just don't know if what you're doing is any good or if people like it. And so if there's something that you can improve, it's good to know that. And so yeah, John Andrew said, if you watch a video regularly and you genuinely don't like it, then why even watch it? That's a good point too. Very good point. Germ said, it looks like I'll be declining a Midtjylland Rivals request. Somebody sent one to me yesterday. I was like, oh, all right. You want to play? Let's play. It's going to be a tough matchup this weekend, though. Oh, Brad said maybe some people hate watch it like the Kardashians. Maybe. I feel like that's just not healthy. No reason to do that. You know what's wild? We basically stayed on topic today. How does that happen? It's like a mistake. We should talk about something else quickly. Carrie said, do you think we'll ever get Sorare Data memberships from Sorare coins? Yes. Yes, I do. But I don't know when. Mike said, I think Sorare Data has a big plus in that most of your videos are live streams, and so you're getting instant feedback. I agree with that. And that is a big reason why we do them. Because I actually used to hate live streams. I would do only pre-recorded videos because you just never know what could happen live. Like all of a sudden your video stops after a minute or whatnot. But once I started doing them, it became much like you said, the instant feedback is really helpful. And I think for the most part, the experience of watching or listening to these is not overly changed when you don't watch it live. And so there are some things where like maybe we're reacting to something, although still looking like watching back. I don't know if the experience is that much different other than like wanting to participate in the chat and not being able to. But the good place said we need Sorare Data lineup importing into Sorare, make it happen, Laird. That's another one of those things that we are very interested in, and it's just not always up to us. Mike Basson said no editing after too. So that's the funny thing, Mike, is that I used to do these pre-recorded ones and then I wouldn't even edit them. So I was like, why didn't I just do this live? It takes like hours to download it and then upload it somewhere else. Yeah. Just not my style anymore. All right. Anything else? Brad Craig, on topic, on off topic. It was weird. It was, yeah. But I'm glad we talked through that. And I got that nice feedback about limited time only. And if you guys have any feedback on any show other than So or Andrews, I'm happy to listen to it. But that show will continue to be what it is. And I see no reason to ever change that show. I realize that one is probably the least Sorare Data show. I guess maybe this one. But like you guys said, that's the OG show, and it lives here because that's where we are. But seriously, any feedback on the strategy show or the game week previews or limited time only or the new collection time only, which we've only had a few of, or yeah, that's it. Mike said you had to stay on topic once to balance the probabilities. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, any and all feedback, send it over to me. I think my Twitter thing is right there at Andrew M. Laird. A few of you have reached out to me on Discord, which is perfectly fine. I believe it's also Andrew M. Laird, so you can find that. If it's not, it's Lairdinho somewhere. So hit me up with any feedback, if good or bad. I mean, obviously, good feedback is always nice to hear, but if there's a way to make it more, to make the experience more valuable to you guys, I'm all ears. So hit me up. So thank you everybody for joining. If you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, all that good stuff. Shout out to our guy Quinny. And yeah, we'll be back next week with a full slate of content. And yeah, good luck this weekend, all.